Welcome back to Founders in the Field, the show where we go behind the scenes with agency leaders, consultants, and creative founders to show you how they're building, scaling, and staying sane in the trenches. I'm your host, Stefan Bradley, and today's guest is Sam Bradbury, Director of Range Creative and Proprietech. How are you doing, Sam?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I appreciate you coming on.
No worries.
Let's dive straight in. For people who don't know your story, take us right back to the start of your journey, what made you start your own business, and give us an overview of what your role looks like today inside Rage Creative and Proprietech.
I have always been an entrepreneur. I was buying and selling stuff at school. I was buying and selling stuff outside of school, and I started different skill-based, I guess I was self-employed through different skills that I had. I got involved with, I guess I was always trying to find who's making the most money right now and how can I do that. So I actually had my first child at the age of 16. And my goal has always been to try and number one, give my children the best life that they possibly can have and the best start in life as well. So when they get to the age where they have to sort of look after themselves, they have opportunities, they have options. They can go to university if they want to, and I can obviously fund that. They can start a business if they want to, or even just building connections in areas that they want to work in so that they can have better opportunities to get employed in the areas that they want to be employed in. So my goal has always been, number one, to have enough financial backing, I guess, to be able to give them opportunities, but also to have enough time to be able to take them on holidays and to spend time with them, really. I wanted to give myself some time back and still have the money to be able to have a nice lifestyle. But that's always been my main goal. And obviously you just can't really do that at working a 9 to 5, no matter how much money you're making. Usually the more money you're making, the more you're working. So I decided to go down the entrepreneur route, and I started many different businesses. I then got involved in the Forex space and I became a Forex trader, and I was doing extremely well trading Forex. And then I was working with prop firms. I've been working with prop firms for around 7 years now, which is our main industry. And I started a YouTube channel to essentially help other people learn my strategies, how I was making money. And prop firms were paying me to make videos for them and use their service and things like that. And I was extremely open with my audience. There were a few firms that I didn't like. And even if they'd given me like a free use of their service, if I didn't like it, I was calling it out. So I always made sure that I was only promoting things that I genuinely believed in. Prop firms were something that I used to make quite a lot of income personally, and I felt like it was a good opportunity for anyone that was watching my channel. So I started essentially in that side of it, doing a bit of marketing and content creation for prop trading firms. We then started our own prop trading firm. So my business partner is a phenomenal tech wizard. He is just a genius when it comes to developing software. And we developed our own software. We started our own trading firm, and that went extremely well. Some of the other trading firms started asking who we're using as a software provider. We had no idea that you could actually buy your own software or like license software off other people. So we ended up licensing our software to lots of different other trading firms. And because we got so busy with that, we decided to actually exit our own trading firm and focus just on the B2B side. So we sold our prop trading firm, and that was our first exit essentially. And then we focused on the software. And then of course, because we had lots of prop trading firm clients and we had marketing guys for our own marketing, we found some brilliant marketers, and we were like, this is something that everyone needs. So we started that as an additional service to our current software clients, and then it just grew from there.
Just a story. Strong. You've got a strong why. That's what I would say. Definitely. You've got a strong why that's obviously motivated you to go into these different directions and to have the courage to try different things as well. And then it kind of has progressed. It's definitely like been like a natural progression from you starting off as a trader to then using your honesty and integrity on YouTube to build up an audience that people can relate to, and then obviously go from trading into the software, which is obviously a natural progression, and completely understand why you would sell that firm to go into this, because it kind of set you up to be able to then have the clientele that need it because you've also been that clientele in the past. So it's
Exactly.
definitely a natural progression that you've done there, and well done to you.
Thank you very much. But yeah, no, absolutely, I agree. It's always been right. What services are we paying the most for? How can we reduce that price, number one, but then also offer that to people that also need that service, and be able to save them some money and give them the best solution. So that's kind of what we've done, and we've scaled rapidly over the last couple of years.
Yeah, you've almost been like an avatar to your ICP because you've been there before. So you
Yeah,
know the pains, you know what they need, you know where it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass, should we say, if it's something's a bit more expensive there, and you think, well, when I was doing that, I would really have loved it if it was like this, and then you can adapt and move it like that.
exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So what are the biggest trends that you're seeing inside the market that you're in right now?
So the biggest trends, I think, first of all, is lower barrier to entry. So it's actually a lot easier for firms to get started now. Whereas when we started our own firm, there weren't other tech providers out there. It was hard to find people that knew how to market this type of business. It was also very difficult to set up the company, open bank accounts, all of those sorts of things, even finding payment processors or different trading platforms to work with, because no one knew what the industry was. No one understood the industry. It was extremely difficult. And because of that, it was extremely expensive. The ones that did know how to do it were charging through the roof for these types of
Mm.
services. So I think going forwards, a lot more firms have actually started utilizing our services and the services of other people, which has brought along a lot more competition for us, obviously. But it's also meant that a lot of different service providers from different things like the platforms and PSPs and everything else are more accepting of the industry. It means that costs are much lower, and there's a bigger opportunity for people to actually start a business in this niche, which also means there's a bigger opportunity for traders to get funded, to receive payouts, and not work with dodgy companies that are basically having to spend fortunes on their setup and everything else. It means that the companies actually have more money, and it benefits the trader long term.
And when a new industry sort of formed, like Forex has sort of blew up sort of in like since the 2020s, I would say it's a bit
Yeah,
like a Wild West, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like it's the
yeah,
people who can do it charge a lot, which means, yeah, they make a lot of money, but then it's only affordable to certain people. So your clientele is smaller. Obviously the margins are higher, but the clientele is smaller. And as it sort of neutralizes and the landscape becomes not so not so volatile, I would say, price is lower, but then you can reach far more people. So then your
absolutely. Yeah.
opportunity to scale it, goes higher.
Yeah, it creates a lot more opportunity for absolutely everyone involved. Yeah, I think that's obviously the biggest trend at the moment. It's yeah, just a bigger opportunity for traders as well as people looking to get involved in the actual business side of the forex industry.
And with it lowering the bar to like how difficult it is to set up, that can only benefit your business as well. Because the more people that you can get that want to set this type of business up, is the more people than you could service.
Yeah, absolutely. So the demand has been a lot higher, and especially because people now understand how to set these sorts of businesses up. Whereas way back in the day, or I say way back, it was 3 4 years ago, no one knew how to get started. I mean, even us, we thought we had to build it all ourselves. When that wasn't actually the case. You can license the software, you can get help setting these things up. And I think also us having run this sort of software for 3.5 years now, you also have expertise of people who have done it, who have failed many times as well. We've gone through a lot of times where we've not ran it so well, or we've made mistakes, but we've been able to learn from those mistakes. So you're also gaining a lot of people with experience in the industry. Whereas, like I said back then, no one knew what was going on. No one knew how to run it perfectly. It was hit or miss basically, and we had to make those mistakes so that that come in now don't have to make those same mistakes again.
Yeah, so exactly. So you bring far more value now because before it was uncharted territory. Nobody had made the mistakes to learn the lessons, but now you've actually learned the lessons. You could bring so much more value to your clients, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Definitely.
So, Sam, what is working well in Proprietech, and where do you still feel slight friction in your role?
Sure. So I think what's working extremely well is partnerships. We go to all of the different events. We, again, because we were quite early into the industry, we were able to have very close connections to the founders of different platforms and things like that. So we were able to build really good, strong relationships early on. And I think that's obviously just led to, as they're growing and as the industry is growing, we've obviously just been growing alongside them. We get a lot of referrals because we're trusted and they know us personally. So we get lots and lots of referrals through the different platforms and different service providers in the industry, again, because of the trust that we've built. And I think, again, it's more the acceptance of the industry. It's more because everyone sort of knows how it all works. They know that there's profit to be made in the industry. They know that it's actually a good opportunity for their clients as well. So it's a value added service. It's not something that's built to try and take money from the client. I think it's just growing rapidly. And the same thing with the marketing as well. Everyone needs marketing. And because we have had that experience where we've been able to scale firms to the 7 figures, to the 8 figures, it's obviously benefited us massively. But yeah, I think partnerships is the biggest thing that is helping us at the moment. And my role personally is networking. I've been networking all of my life. Obviously, as I said, I've been an entrepreneur. I've had to meet the right people and who's making the most money at the moment and all that kind of stuff. So I've tried to get into those circles, and I believe who you know is worth a lot more than what you know. So I've always had that mindset, and I'm fairly good at making friends, I guess. So that's been a huge help for us.
Definitely being early adopters and building them relationships early on has
Mhm.
obviously seen you so well, like going through as the industry matures, because like
Yeah.
you say, you build trust and trust just grows and grows and grows. Both ends of the bargain up, I'm guessing. Do you know what I mean? And you stay right with everybody. And definitely like networking and that communications it's undervalued, I think.
It is.
People, and especially in today's age with technology, you being obviously a tech firm as well, everybody sort of can lean a little bit too much on the tech, but actually what the tech can't do is build relationships and have that face to face or on the phone, or it builds connection and it builds trust and builds communication so well that that's what enables people to trust you and for you to sell business to each other as well.
Absolutely. And the thing is, the product can be the same. Everyone's coming out with software for trading firms, as an example. There are thousands and thousands of marketing agencies out there. There's people getting involved in copywriting and learning ads and all that kind of stuff. But people buy into you and not the product. So I think it is very, very important to have those relationships, even if it's just meeting up for a coffee, going to the events and showing your face and showing, look, I am here for you no matter what. You're going to see me at the next event, we're not going anywhere. So I think that's very, very important. Having that, personal relationship keeps customers, and it also gains a lot of new customers as well. If you're in the right places and you get to meet those people in person, it's so much better than just a post online or trying to find someone through an ad who doesn't know who you are. Yeah, I think it's a really, really important part of business.
Definitely. They could have 10 people that have applied for a job or that are trying to get them to work with them. But if they've never seen them and then they meet somebody in person that relates to them, they relate to you, the relationship goes both ways. Them so much more likely to go with you over the people that are just numbers on a screen.
Well, yeah. So it's funny you mentioned that, actually, because I talk about this a lot when it comes to, like, even family, friends, and even when I was saying earlier about my setting my children up to building those sort of connections, even if it's something that they want to get hired in. So what I've always said to people is, look, if you're looking for a job, if there's a specific role that you want to do, instead of just sending your CV to the company, go to the networking events in that niche, go and meet the owners of companies that are doing those things and build relationships. And they're more likely to hire you because you've said, I'm really good at this one particular thing and I really want to work in this one thing. People like to work with people that they like. And if you can make them like you in person, then yeah, they're going to want to work with you. Whereas, as
Yeah.
you said, if you're just sending a CV or you're clicking through an ad online or anything like that, it's not very personable. And your CV might look great, but if If the company doesn't feel like you're a fit in their company, it's going to be very difficult to land that job or to land that client or whatever it is.
Definitely, it's a lot easier to ignore a number on a screen that they've never met, as opposed to somebody that they've met, that they've built a connection with, and that they're
Absolutely.
relating to.
Yeah.
So you know the marketing agency that you do, Rage Creative, is that
Yeah.
sort of work? Do you like clients that are in Forex? So you market the Forex. That basically your two businesses feed the same niche. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So obviously we've got a lot of separate clients, but we also have a lot of the same clients as well. So essentially with the marketing agency, we offer digital marketing like ads. We do a lot of graphic designs. We do motion graphics and things like that as well. So like animated ads. And the biggest thing is email marketing. So email marketing, once you've captured leads and they've seen you, or let's say they've clicked through from an ad or they've come through from social media, and you have their email and you have their name and all that kind of stuff, when you start sending them personalized like discount or personalized marketing material, you then show up again and again and again and again. And that in itself builds a lot of trust. So you're almost building a community just through your email campaigns. And I think that's basically where we focus a lot of effort, and we do extremely well. So yeah, it's about getting them to see your face and see your brand everywhere they look, is basically what we try and do.
Yeah, a lot of people just think it's just ads, like say what you just said there with email marketing. It's like ads, but in their email. They're seeing you, they're seeing that copy, they're getting to know you more and more. And obviously sending an email is free, as opposed to running an ad can cost, realistically, depending on how much, how much you run it. So definitely. So when your email marketing business, so the clients that you have there, are they all in Forex, or are they spread across different niches?
No, we have clients in different areas as well. The main focus for us is the e-commerce brands. So obviously the Forex is the biggest part of our business, but then we do have a lot of e-commerce brands that we work with as well. So anyone that is building that kind of online presence, that has maybe an e-product that they can sell, that we can try and build that sort of community, even if it is just through an email list, and we can retarget the people that have shown interest into that product or that brand. That's kind of who we're working with. For us, it's about finding companies that are scalable. When you've got let's say a coffee shop as an example, it could be a great business, but it's hard to say, right, you've made this amount of sales, or the ads that you've that money on are actually giving you X amount of return. Whereas if we're selling an online product and we know exactly what figures are coming back from our marketing efforts, I guess it's much easier. It's nicer. It's scalable, because then we can put money back into what's working. We know what's not working, and we can really just run with it and increase ad spend and all that kind of stuff on the stuff that's actually making money. So
Yeah, no, definitely working with, online businesses, should we call them e-businesses, you can actually show your value. Because like you said, if you're running an ad for Starbucks, you don't know whether that person was walking in that building before or not.
exactly.
But when you're looking with an e-product, you can look at the analytics and you can say, look, since we've run this ad, this is the profit that you've made, or this is the gross that you've made directly because of what we did, and then scale up
Exactly.
what's working completely.
Yeah. No,
So
definitely.
for both companies, should we say, walk me through how you get clients. So what's your client acquisition process?
Sure. So for me, the biggest thing is obviously networking. So as I said before, we go to all of the different Forex events. We've had booths at events as well, so people can obviously come to our booth and they can see demos and stuff of our software. But then the next thing after that is referrals. So we're extremely good at building relationships, building trust, building I guess our network. And then through that network, because they like us, they know us, they trust us, if they have a friend, or let's say someone comes to them for a particular service, but they don't offer the service that we offer, they're going to say, oh, you also need this from Proprietech. We're usually the first people that come to mind when it comes to what we do. So yeah, so it's just been building those relationships, getting those referrals. And then we have done a little bit of like social media and stuff, but it's very, very little. It's mostly just in-person relationships and referrals. Because ideally, if someone, let's say we were both really hungry and I suggested let's go to McDonald's, and we go to McDonald's, that's a more powerful sale, I guess, than if you just saw a McDonald's ad, you know? So I think having that referral is immediately a bigger conversion rate, because they already trust that person that has referred them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Warm leads are always higher conversions, 1,000,000%. So do you find that you have a consistent lead flow relying on referrals the way you run it, where you're doing it right now? And do you think you'll be able to scale this up, like still doing it this way?
Yeah, so at the moment, I mean, it fluctuates. So
Mm,
it depends on how many people are actually looking for this type of service. We're getting a crazy amount of leads at the moment. The demand is extremely high. And yeah, so I mean, it's been fairly consistent recently, but there have been times where it's dipped a little bit, or maybe there's been some changes in the market. So as an example, just over a year ago, maybe almost 2 years ago now, there were platform issues with one of the main platforms that offer this service. Basically, they stopped allowing prop firms to use their platform. And it meant that lots of prop firms were shutting down. It was almost like this trial and error period. As I said, back then, the acceptance of this was quite low. No one really understood how it works or what's going on in the industry. So when things like that happen that negatively impact the whole industry, obviously we're getting a lot less leads
mm.
because people don't want to start that kind of business. Whereas at the moment, where we've seen everyone is pretty much accepting of the business, there's a lot more traders getting involved in actually trading on these types of platforms. We're seeing a very, very consistent amount of leads come through.
So is that the same with the marketing agency that you run?
Yeah,
Like
so with the
how
marketing
do you get
agency,
clients? Sorry.
yeah, so
Yeah.
at the moment, the marketing agency, again, it's mostly referrals, and that is due to just how good we are at marketing, to be honest with you. So when we've been able to scale different businesses, or let's say our email campaigns are bringing in 50% of a company's revenue, which a lot of the firms that we work with, almost 50% of the revenue is literally attributed to the email marketing campaigns that we send out. If we do it effectively for one firm, they're very, very likely to refer us to another firm. And once you start a prop firm as well, this is something else that I've realized. All the prop firm owners sort of know each other. They all have, even though they're competitors of each other, they're all feeding off each other's ideas and things like that. And they're building relationships with each other. And then obviously if they're using one of our services, it's very likely that they'll obviously refer those friends over to us as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Email marketing for e-commerce especially is huge. It is huge.
Absolutely.
I've heard and I've got friends that do similar things, like that help with e-commerce brands and tell me how email marketing is massive for them, definitely. So brings me to my last couple of questions. Would you want to be in the next 12 to 18 months in terms of business?
I mean, it's really difficult to sort of say, because if you ask me when I was 18, so this was 10 years ago now, I used to set goals and targets and things like that. But when we got into this industry and we started building a business and we started hiring people and we started scaling rapidly, and customers were coming over to us and everything was just sort of exploding extremely quickly, I would not have been able to write goals big enough to what we've actually achieved, if that makes sense. So, I mean, yeah, it's really difficult to say. Ideally, what we're trying to build at the moment and what we have been building is, um, essentially just a percentage, I guess, of the market. We want to be known as the experts in the industry. We were early to the game. We've worked with some of the biggest firms in the industry. And I think it's a rapidly expanding industry. So we saw last year the industry itself generated around 8.5 billion turnover, whereas the broker industry, which is kind of like what we're competing with or where we're
Mm.
sort of looking to follow, the broker industry did tens of trillions of dollars. So realistically, we're looking at still thousands of times growth compared to where we're at the moment. Um, and if we could just have a small percentage of that, I'd be extremely happy. So I think that's what we're sort of looking to do. I don't think we have an actual numbers goal or anything like that. I think it's just about being, I guess, pioneers in this industry. We want to, build up the fact that we are essentially experts in this field and just help as many brands as possible build successful businesses.
Yeah, it's almost like a positioning goal, wanting to be positioned in a way, you know what I mean? So you're taking a nice portion of the market, and to see, especially with how the broker side of it goes, you can see where this could go, especially, do you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
you can see where they're going, and even though it's still very profitable now, like you said, but it can go even so much further. So definitely exciting times. So my last question, Sam, is if you could wave a magic wand and fix one bottleneck or one thing in your business, what would it be and why?
Okay, so yeah, that's such a difficult question. I think personally, it's more for me rather than my business, but I think just finding another me would be amazing. And also my business partner as well. My business partner works 16-hour days every day. He is non-stop. If we could find replacements for ourselves, that would be amazing. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing, but obviously that comes with a fairly big salary as well. So yeah, finding people to replace ourselves, finding people that have as much passion for the brand as we do, which you're never going to find that. It's ours, it's our baby. Obviously, I understand that employees are coming to work. They will obviously have some passion for the industry, but they're never going to have the level of love for the company that we do because we built it. I think that's what I would like. Yeah, people that are doing the same role as us, essentially just duplicating ourselves, have a bigger team that are passionate about it, as passionate as we are.
Yeah, so sounds like if you could clone you and your business partner, that would be a perfect scenario for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, our staff are incredible and they are very passionate about what they do. But yeah, as I said, they're not going to go out of their way to, or as an example, when we first started the business, we struggled like crazy to get it off the ground. We invested a lot of money back into it. We put ourselves at risk. Obviously, employees aren't going to want to put themselves at risk no matter how much they love the company, So it's a very different level of how passionate we are about the company.
That's a lot of it is across the board with lots of nearly every industry, I would say as well. They're never going to have quite the same amount of love and passion as you do. As you said, it is your baby. But yeah, definitely it's a good answer to the magic one question. I ask it every time and I get different answers every time. But thank you so much for coming on. I've loved having you on, loved having some insights into an industry that I don't know much about. So it's a learning day for me as well. And yeah, where can people communicate? Where can they find you? Where's your website or socials or anything that you want to put on?
So my socials, it's the Sam Bradbury on Instagram, and where else is it? TikTok and Instagram, the Sam Bradbury. If you're looking for more Forex stuff, I'm on X and YouTube as Sam Bradbury FX. Or you can go to our website, proprietech.com, or you can go to ragecreative.co.
So anybody that's listening that you want to set up your own prop firm or you're looking to get into Forex, Sam is your guy. Or anybody looking for marketing services, if you have an e-commerce brand and you're thinking, I want some of that email marketing that Sam talked about, hit him up on his socials or the website. And thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, send to a friend. And Sam, I just want to thank you again and I hope you enjoy your day.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Cheers.